morning, everyone, and welcome to the On the Go Post Show. I know for the past 2 days, because of the weather, we've been doing it a little different, but right now we are back to having the team together for the On the Go Post Show. And we are still talking about the cold, and what you have your thermostat set on, because we have some new recommendations that may keep you cold at night. But Holly, we start with you. But before we get to you, remember, you can always comment in the section wherever it is on YouTube and Facebook, under, below, to the side, however your configurations are set up. Let us know all the comments there. But Holly, yes, the cold. When I came into work today, my little thermostat said 8 degrees, or weather gauge said 8 degrees.
Correct.
Thermostat,
right.
So it was cold.
No, that is. I mean, there's no way around it. And I don't want to take away from the fact that it is really cold. Most of you are around 0 right now at the time that we're doing this live. And by later today, we're only talking highs near 20. 24 is the normal low. So we're not even going to hit that today. But on the bright side, I just want to say that winds are calm to really light. Because if we had any kind of breeze, you guys, wind chills, well, first of all, we'd be under wind chill warnings. Second of all, we'd be talking wind chills like 20, 30 below 0. And that is not the case this morning. The actual air temperature and wind chill have really been very similar. And in some cases, when the winds are 5-10 miles an hour, we'll see maybe a 3, 4, 5 degree difference. But that doesn't take away from the fact that a lot of you right now even are 0 to about -5. So bundle up. And I feel like this is the perfect segue to the thermostat story that has us all talking here. I know it's going to have all of you talking too.
Yeah, if you watched on Go, we were talking about that. And let me say, we have the question up, what's your perfect or suggested thermostat
70 degrees
setting?
By the way.
70 degrees is Holly's. So Chris Zabel, he says 68. Joe says 67 during the day, 65 at night. And here's why: because Dominion Energy, they released their recommendations to kind of help conserve energy during this cold spell. They say that at night to set your thermostat at 58 degrees, and that can save you 10 to 15% on your monthly energy cost. What do you guys think about that? Mo, Dave, Jasmine, are you going to set it at 58 degrees?
I am cold all the time. Like, we have ours, I think, at like 73-ish during the day, even because, I mean, you have to keep in mind too, people who are watching and chiming in. I mean, we're kind of opposite schedules. So we wake up, in the middle of the night and we're around during the day. But, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe during sleeping, I wouldn't notice if it was 58, but then again, I don't know. I feel like that would start a really cold morning. I feel like, especially in weather like this, it would take the house a long time to warm up after that.
Yeah. Usually the recommendation is 68. But, according to the story, it said when going to sleep at night, the supplier says you should lower your thermostat to 58 degrees now. Again, it helps to conserve gas and could potentially lower your bills.
Well,
is
I
it
think
worth
what you
it?
would have to do in this circumstance is if you had a thermostat that you could set, like my thermostat, you can set different temperatures at different times. So if you, like Maureen said, it's a little more difficult for us because when we're waking up, we would wake up when it would be 58. But if you could do a traditional sleep, and let's just say you go to bed at 11 o'clock, you could set your thermostat to be 58 from, 11:30 to, let's say, 5 or 6, and then have it bump up on its own. So when you get up at 7, let's say, I'm just making up numbers, that's how I think you could do it. So then you're not freezing when you wake up. But if you can't do the temperature control, you don't want to wake up in 58 degrees. I mean, that's freezing. And I mean, what are you going to do? Wear ski equipment and ski clothing to bed in 58? I just don't see that being the case. So I can see where it saves you money. And the people that have their thermostats set around 67, 68, my guess is that their house is probably better insulated, or they just are okay with the cold, because our house, we're around 72, sometimes go 71. But I don't think my house, it's not insulated the best. So I think that's part of the problem. But I mean, listen, let's be honest. I'm not setting my thing any lower. I want to be married tomorrow. Okay.
Love it. So Michelle, she kind of beats us. She says that she sets her thermostat at 56.
Whoa.
Yes, Michelle, she says 56. Michelle, you have to post in the comment section. Let us know how you do it, because I'm freezing at 73. And that's what we set ours at in our home. So she does 56. We have Christy, who says 70 during the day, 64 at night. Carolyn, 69 at night, 73 during the day. I don't see how people go under 70 because I'm a freeze baby. Jasmine, what about you? What about your house?
My heat is on 75. I am I'm anemic. My heat just actually came on. I think it realized that I was sitting here like with a sweater on and still cold, but I'm anemic, so I'm colder than the average person. So I can't even say it at work. We're not even supposed to have them, but a space heater, like it's freezing. I'm always cold. And even in my car, my heat is on 90 and I have heated seats too. So like I am always cold. But I guess I can say 2 weeks ago, my heat actually went out. My pipes did freeze. Oh. And shout out to Sal's Heating and Cooling. They came in and they fixed it. And it was such an awkward conversation because he's like, okay, it's fixed. So what do you want to put your heat on now? And I'm like, 75. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yes, please.
What is that bill? What's that bill, Jasmine? 75.
Well, I don't pay that bill. I pay the cable bill and the light bill. The lights are always out. I can tell you that. I don't pay that bill. No complaint.
Looks like we're all having issues. Yesterday, I felt it. It's amazing. You can tell the difference by 2 or 3 degrees. You really can.
Yeah, you can.
I started feeling it was colder, and I went and looked, and it was 68, 69. I'm like, well, there's this little trick I've learned. I have an older furnace, the flame igniter. It's not the igniter, the flame. Drawing a blank. Anyway,
help them out in the comment section.
I know how to. I know how to.
Did you say flame sensor?
Flame sensor. Thank you.
There you go, Mo. Always got our back.
So the flame sensor, if your furnace doesn't light, the little trick is to clean your flame sensor. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went down to do that trick. Right. Well, I wasn't even getting the flame, so my igniter went out. Thank goodness it was just the igniter, and I just had to replace that. Because I keep waiting for the day that puppy goes, and that
do
is
you
not
know that feeling? It's like your stomach just sinks. I'm like, I'm talking to my boyfriend. I was like, the heat, I just felt it. It's totally different. It's dropping down. We need a new furnace, and I'm like, this is. And they came, and he's just like, oh no, we just needed to clean your pipes out, and we had to change a few other things, but that was it. The bill wasn't that expensive, but you know that furnace bill, when it happens, every 2 years, 10 years?
I replaced the furnace a couple of years
ago. And it's
ago.
always when the weather's like this. That's what
I
was talking about.
Right.
It's always,
it's not in the summertime.
Yes, like it's the furnace goes out when it's 0 degrees. The air conditioning goes out when it's 104 because they're stressed. And Dave and I were talking during commercial break because even yesterday during the show, my husband's texting me, Mark's texting me like, the furnace keeps kicking off, but it was more that the exhaust out of the house, like there was that sensor.
Yeah, you gotta keep that clean, and it's
right. So the snow was piling up, so he kept going out and shoveling the snow out of the way up to the sensor, which I was like, yeah, hey, if that is our biggest problem, That's fine with that. As long as it's not the system going out. But I mean, it's so you think about that when you do feel the panic of, oh my gosh, something happened to my furnace. It's colder in here. What is happening? And you're going to set your thermostat at that every single night. You're going to set it into panic mode every single night.
And Jasmine, Shayla agrees with you. She sets hers at 75 as well.
Yeah, Shayla, you can come over anytime, Shay. I'll come over to your house. We're fine. I like to walk around with my tank top on and not have to have like what Dave said on a ski suit in my house.
Now, Michelle has chimed in and said how she does it. with the 56, because again, the conversation for those of you who are just joining is that Dominion is recommending during this cold spell to lower your thermostat to 58 degrees. Typically, the recommendation is 68, and that will help.
They have our best interest at heart.
Yeah.
well, they're saying that will help conserve, gas, as well as to possibly lower your monthly heating costs and
buying new pipes later.
So Michelle says she sets hers at 56, but get this. She said no heat in bedroom window, and so no heat in bedroom. She has the windows open and 2 fans running. She loves a cold bedroom.
I was gonna say.
I don't think anybody can spend the night. Any of us can spend the night over Michelle's house.
Yeah, that is a preference.
Hey, what do you think Austin sets his temperature at?
Austin, he's a cold baby. Like anytime he would come over to my desk, because it would be just like it's Hades at my desk. And he was like, "Oh my God, like it's so hot over here." Like he doesn't even wear a hat. It's cold outside. Like,
the hat is a hair. He'd
rather frostbite than
I don't care about my hair. If I'm cold, like all bets are off. Fashion statement. I could care less. I cannot be cold out there.
Well, we are going to have to close this up, but I do want to end this with Steve. I guess this isn't a good note for us, but he says it's supposed to be 88 degrees tomorrow in Orlando. His AC is already set and on.
Steve, I'm going to start walking there.
It's set to Ohio recommendations.
I hope it rains all day with 88.
Well, we thank you everyone for joining this On The Go post show. Don't forget, we have a social graphic up too where you can continue to comment. Let us know your thoughts about this 58-degree recommendation for your thermostat during this cold spell, and what you set your thermostat on. Maybe we can help each other out. So have a great day. You'll see Maureen, Dave, and Holly during the Today Show. We'll see you tomorrow.